This latest story reading is brought to you by The King and the Mockingbird. Go watch it, it's good. Oh, it's in French. So, subtitles. Mr. Dog. Come on, Mr. Dog. I see you jocking me. Trying to play like you know me. No way, man. I'm not going to play those games. Mind games. Board games. Motherfucker smoking a pipe. He's got a bow tie on too. Yeah. And he's wearing a hat. But, that's not the special part of this book. What is the special part of this book, you ask? I'm ready yet. Is my mouse cursor? Oh, fuck it. If my mouse cursor is in the way, I'm sorry. I put it in the title bar and it's still there. So, anyway, it's a little golden book. I had some little golden books growing up. Actually, this is silver. I don't know if, is there a tier list for, a tier list, not a tier list. Is there a hierarchy of little golden books? Am I going to find out that silver is the, great but not good of the little golden book universe? Yeah. Well, this little golden book belongs to Gerald. That sassy ass cat. And that, I assume these are all different little golden book characters. I can see a steam engine and an elephant. That elephant looks familiar. Anyway, this is Mr. Dog, the dog who belonged to himself. The more I see, the more I feel like I've read this before. By Margaret Wise Brown. Golden Press, New York. Western Publishing Company included something Wisconsin? Not sure what that says. Not sure what that has to do with New York. Oh, it's a biography. Margaret Wise Brown is one of the best known and most prolific authors of books for children. My microphone is in the way because I usually have this as a single page, but this is scanned as 2 pages. Scanned as 1 page. That makes more sense. For children. Her sensitive, lively, tender, and often I'm going to have a Ace Brave moment here. I can only just read this text. Her sensitive, lively, tender, and often amusing stories have delighted both youngsters and their parents for generations. Generations? When did this come out? 1952, that says? How many generations has the Little Golden Book been around for? I assume she was doing things before the Little Golden Book was a Little Golden Book. Fuck, lady, you were old in 1952. At one point in her career, Margaret Wise Brown decided to stop writing. Fortunately, she could not what? Okay. Stop, and eventually, that was a quick turnaround, lady. And eventually she published more than 85 books. You get to 88 books, we'll be in an orgy. That is a joke for me and me alone. Among them are many well-loved golden books, including such colourful favourites as Home for a Bunny, The Sailor Dog, and The Friendly Book. I feel like I've read The Friendly Book. Born in New York, Garth Williams, had an extensive art education. In joke for anyone who knows what my name is. Had an extensive art education and early career interests in architecture, theatrical scenery design, oil painting, poster designs, and sculpture. In 1945, he illustrated his first children's book, Stuart Little. Okay. Since then, his imaginative, endearing artwork has enhanced more than 50 children's books, in addition to the Margaret Wise Brown books listed above, Garth Williams has illustrated 3 bedtime stories, My Big Golden Counting Book, The Tiny Golden Library, and many other popular golden books. And now to the feature presentation, Mr. Dog. Once upon a time, there was a funny little dog. There's no little there. Why am I putting words where there are none? There was a funny dog named Crispin's Crispian. Eat shit, Crispin Glover. He was named Crispin's Crispian because, edgy seats, he's got a little fluffy dog framed above his bed. That's his JR frame. You got any kids watching? You shouldn't. He belonged to himself. Well, they kind of gave that away in the title. In the mornings, he woke himself up and went to the... fairly sure I've read this. Went to the icebox and gave himself some bread and milk. He was a funny old dog. He liked strawberries. What else does he like? Cookies. Tea. Salt. Whatever the hell that is beside the salt, I'm assuming that's pepper. A green egg? Better be ham in there. Who the fuck refrigerates strawberries? Wait, everyone refrigerates strawberries. What am I talking about? Excuse me, Crispian, your bone is exposed. It's luckily you're in the comfort of your own home, because we would not abide that. Outside. That's the end of that sentence, I guess. Then he took himself for a walk, wherever he wanted to go. But one morning he didn't know where he wanted to go. Just walk and sooner or later you'll get somewhere, he said to himself. Soon he came to a country where there were lots of dogs. They barked at him and he barked back. Then they all played together. It's a ripping roller coaster epic of a story we've got here. Dogs playing, barking, lots of dogs. Whatever the fuck is going on down there. Just gonna wait, is that a cat? That's not a dog. Get out of here. That is a cat. Or are we in a different place now? That rabbit is smoking a cigar. Is that a rabbit? I don't know what that is. Smoking a cigar, nevertheless. But he still wanted to go somewhere, so he walked on until he came to a country where there were lots of cats and rabbits. Oh, it was a rabbit. The cats and rabbits jumped in the air and ran, so Crispian jumped in the air and ran after them. Whoa. That is ugly child. The reflection doesn't help. What are you going to catch with a... I don't know nothing about No Country Living. I assume you could catch something with a long stick and a piece of string. Maybe there's a worm hooked at the end of that thing. I don't know. He didn't catch them because he ran into a little boy. Who are you and who do you belong to? I'm sure he didn't ask that insistently. Asked the boy. I'm Crispin's Crispian, and I belong to myself, said Crispian. Who and what are you? I'm a boy, said the boy, and I belong to myself. You fucking well do not. You will take that home and tell your parents, and they will scold you, because I'm assuming this is a time when kids were scolded for saying endearing things. No quarter these kids in the 50s. Getting a belt. What's wrong with me tonight? It's technically still tonight. It's 2 minutes till midnight. Then they went to, wow, they're fast friends. Then they went to a butcher shop to get this poor dog a bone. He had a bone. He was carrying one in his robe earlier. Does he not have that bone? Now he has two. Did they get some more tobacco for his pipe? I thought that was a tail, but he's carrying like a crook or a walking stick, something. No idea what that kid's carrying. Some sort of vegetable and whatever's in that. I suppose if I read, it'll tell me what. Now, since Crispin belonged to himself, he gave himself the bone and trotted home with it. And the little boy brought a big lamb chop and a bright green vegetable and trotted home with Crispin's Crispian. Crispin's Crispian is very well off. Crispin's Crispian lived in a 2-story dog house. Never mind, I didn't read far enough ahead. Oh, wait, sorry. I thought we were talking about the child. Evidently, I can't remember things from one page to the next. I thought the child lived in a 2-story doghouse. But no, it's Crispin. No cats. You had no problem with cats earlier. Crispin's Crispian lived in a 2-story doghouse in a garden. And in his 2-story doghouse, he had a little fur living room with a warm fire that crackled all winter and went out in the summer. It's a magic fire. His house was always warm. His house had a chimney for the smoke to go out. And upstairs there was a little bedroom with a bed in it, and a place for his leash. And pillow leash? Who's walking you? You're your own dog. Do you walk yourself? This story has some holes. And a pillow under which he hid his bones. It's not usually where I hide mine. And there was plenty of room in his house for the boy to live there with him. Did we not validate his story? We're just going by his word that he is his own boy. All right. I don't trust this, but I suppose Crispian seems like he can look after seems like he can look after a child. Certainly very adept with those blades. He has running water. Who does he pay his utilities to? Do they know? I guess they don't bat an eye at Mr. Crispian. Crispian had a little kitchen upstairs. Upstairs? In his 2-story doghouse, where he fixed himself a good dinner 3 times a day because he liked to eat. He liked steaks and chops and roast beef and chopped meat and raw eggs. And he also liked this goat. Hello. This evening he made a bone soup with lots of meat in it. Sorry, I couldn't see that. He gave some to the boy, and the boy liked it. The boy didn't give Crispian his chop bone, but he put some of his bright green vegetable in the soup. Just making sure I read that properly. Yeah, I did. Okay. And what did Crispian do with his dinner? I would assume he eats it, but I guess we'll find out. Did he put it in his stomach? Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for the tension there. I'm glad it was broken almost immediately. He chewed it up and swallowed it into his little fat stomach. What else was he going to do with it? Was he going to slather it all over his naked dog body and have a young boy lick it off him? Please skip ahead. I am begging you. And what did little boy do with his dinner? Did he put it in his stomach? Yes, indeed. He chewed it up and swallowed it into his little fat stomach. Crispin's Crispian was a conservative. In what way? Oh, I see. All right. I'm not really one to cotton to political affiliation, so I'm Kind of glad I didn't have to endure that. He liked everything at the right time. Dinner at dinner time, lunch at lunchtime. I'm more of a freewheeler. I just eat whenever. Sometimes breakfast is at 3 in the afternoon. Dinner at dinner time, lunch at lunchtime, breakfast in time for breakfast, and sunrise. Well, you can't really help that one, can you? That's just going to happen when it does. Sunrise at sunrise, and sunset at sunset, and at bedtime, he laid in bed and scrolled through Twitter and TikTok, and then went to bed at like 4 in the morning. At bedtime, he liked everything in its own place. The cup and the saucer, the chair under the table, the stars in the heavens where they're not likely to not be, the moon in the sky. Oh, there he is! And himself in his own little bed. I'm sensing a conflict is about to be revealed here. He has 2 beds. This was not established. Why do you have 2 beds? Is that the ex? Did she have that bed? Is that what's going on here? Just giving it up to whoever now, huh? But you bring all the little boys here. Filthy little man. You're your own dog. You don't take no guff from no one. And then what did he do? Then he curled up in a warm little heap and went to sleep. And he dreamed his own dreams. What's that like? I haven't remembered my dreams in quite a long time. That was what the dog who belonged to himself did. And what did the boy who belonged to himself do? The boy who belonged to himself curled in a warm heap and went to sleep. I'm starting to notice that you may not be the little snowflake individuals that you believe you are. I don't know why I said snowflake. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I don't particularly like calling people little snowflakes. Makes me uncomfortable. But that's what came out. So that's what's now recorded for posterity for, I don't know, 4 or 5 people. And he dreamed his own dreams. That was what the boy who belonged to himself did. Good night and sweet dreams. Now, my bit is usually to read these, but I can't fucking see that. You're on your own there. Get out a magnifying glass, print screen this and run it through AI upres so that it looks like, instead of the clear letters you assumed you were going to get, it just looks like a blurry mess. But a larger blurry mess than the one that you started with. Are they famous? Only only Albert Brooks brings you all these famous characters. Ask to see the newest little golden books. No, I won't. Does that say Walt Disney? Looks like it. Anyway, let's see if there's a back page. Oh, there is there, Walt Disney. There's Mickey Mouse. And I'm gonna guess that's probably not Dumbo. That's, the little, no, not Tubby the Tugboat. That's the steamboat, I think. Man, my brain. Oh, there's Bambi. And, Raggedy Ann? Leo the Lop. Or Leo the Lion, I think it was here. And Bert and Ernie. That was her name. Big Bird. Who forgets a name like Big Bird? Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse. A really off-model Bugs Bunny. And have fun. Look at all these friends. And Toodle. And is that the... No. I'm trying to remember the name of this book that I read when I was a kid. It was based on the Ugly Little Duckling, except it wasn't the Ugly Little Duckling, but it was a duck who went around and wanted to be a pusson, Pusson, and I cannot for the life of me remember what that book is called. It was a picture book like these. It might have been a little golden book, but I have no idea. I just remember it was probably from like the 50s or like the 40s or 50s, maybe even the 60s or some shit. I'm not asking for it. I'm just like, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I'm rambling. Sorry. Goodbye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.